Good afternoon or morning, teachers and friends. I'm Kashin from 18-66, and today I'll be presenting to everyone my book review for the holidays of 2018. And the book I've chosen is 1,000 Splendid Suns by Khaled Hussein. So for today's video, I'll be first recapping the story briefly, followed by addressing the 3 aspects of Bloom's taxonomy of book review questions. Without further ado, let's begin.
The story begins with Mariam, who is married to Rashid at the age of 15. Mariam lives in a separate city away from parents and is tormented by Rashid, forced to undergo sexual intercourse, to do all the house chores, and to endure multiple beatings. She lives in the same village as Laila, although they have never met or talked to each other before. This changes in June 1992 when a war breaks out in Afghanistan between warlords. Laila's parents are killed. Around the same time, Laila is also separated from Tariq, a childhood sweetheart, who moves overseas to avoid the war with his parents. Laila is then taken in by Rashid and forced to marry him at the age of 14 as his second wife. Although Mariam doesn't like Laila at first, they both become friends living in the same household and have children of their own. The story then progresses with both of them attempting to get away by getting caught and sent back to Rashid, who mercilessly beats them again. Rashid's violence escalates when he finds out that Laila has been reunited with Tariq, who has returned from overseas. This happens many years after their initial separation. At this point, Rashid threatens to kill Laila and has his hands around her neck, choking her. Mariam decides that she has had enough of his abuse and, fueled by Laila's rebellious self, uses a shovel to kill Rashid, and they live happily ever after.
The story doesn't end here, however, and if you'd like to find out more, you can read the story yourself. Moving on to addressing the 3 aspects of Bloom's taxonomy of book review questions. I'll be starting off with evaluation. Answering the first evaluation question, who do you think the author intended to read this book and why? I feel that the book is suitable to be read by anyone, particularly mature readers, as readers must have the stamina and heart to finish the book, which may have particularly heart-wrenching moments. Additionally, the author also does a good job personalizing the characters in the book, and this allows him to achieve his objective of raising awareness on war-torn countries. Moving on to the second question of evaluation, who would you choose for a friend in the book and why? Personally, I feel that I'll choose Laila to be my friend because she seems pretty resilient and she has the courage to stand up for what she believes in. Additionally, she's not afraid to voice her views even in a country that favors males over females, and I think these are all qualities we would like to have in a friend. Last but not least, the third question of evaluation. What do you think was the most interesting part of the book and why? Personally, I feel that the most interesting part of the book is the part when Mariam finally gathers up the courage to use a shovel to kill Rashid. This for multiple reasons. The first is that even in an Islamic country where females are normally subservient to males, and for Mariam's character, who is normally more polite and quiet and shy and scared, timid, in this case, she actually builds up the courage to retaliate to Rashid, and even though she's aware that her actions are punishable by the law, maybe even with death. Additionally, I find this scene especially accentuates the connection between both characters, Laila and Mariam, because Laila throughout the book displays a more resilient and more indomitable self, which has kind of rubbed off on Mariam, which gave her the courage to do such a brazen act. Yeah. Additionally, this is also a turning point in the book, because after this, both of them carry on to lead better and separate lives, so it makes the scene all the more important. So that's it for the evaluation section. Moving on, application. The first question, did this book give you new ideas about yourself and why? Personally, I felt that this book allowed me an insight into seeing how war-torn countries are like and allowed me to be more grateful about the comfortable life I have right now. Additionally, the book also gave me new insights on the sacrifices individuals make when they love someone else, including their family and their close friends. For the last aspect, synthesis. Discuss the decisions you would make if you were the main character in the book. I've decided to focus on Mariam. In the book, Mariam makes two main decisions. The first, to get married to Rashid. Although I sympathize with Mariam and understand that in the situation she was in, with little education and ability to choose for herself, that would have been her only option. However, having the benefit of hindsight, I feel that she might have been able to lead a decently comfortable life if she decided to find work herself outside instead of getting married. Additionally, I also feel that marriage should be a choice and should not be forced upon someone for any other external gain. Which in this case was allowing Jalil Khan, who is Mariam's father, to save face, being the richest man in the area. The other decision that Mariam makes is close to the end of the story, where she decides to turn herself into the police for having killed Rashid. She does this in order to guarantee Layla's freedom in the future, so the police wouldn't come after her. Although in the book I feel that this is a reasonable decision, personally I wouldn't have done that because I feel that having endured so much under Rashid, she deserves a new lease of life. Now on to the last question. Would you recommend this book to anyone else, and if yes, to whom? I would recommend this book to the peers around me as I feel it is a really meaningful read that gives you an insight on a life really different from ours. I really appreciate the writer's Khalid Hosseini's style of writing. His way of describing the characters is also really well done in the sense that he manages to come out with thoughts that make the readers feel that only an individual in that specific scenario would be able to think of. So really personalized thoughts, which I like a lot. So all in all, I rate this book maybe a 7.5 out of 10. Okay, so that sums up my video and I hope you like it. Thank you.